Why do we suffer? Why do we experience such a thing that makes us feel that we are not okay? We think the suffering, that pain, is something negative, therefore we don't want it in our life. If we experience a feeling of pain, we feel we're not okay. But pain in itself, it's not a negative thing. It's a message, it's an experience. It's something that we experience in order to understand something, in order to comprehend. The hardest thing, though, is to let go of it. So why do we search for more suffering? Why do we live lives that lead us to experience more and more suffering? The simple and most simple answer that I found for it for myself is that we experience suffering so that we can distract ourselves from the truth. And the truth ultimately is telling us that life is finite, that this human experience is transitory, is temporal, and that ultimately we're gonna have to let go of everything that we identify with happiness, with joy, which is life. Therefore, we seek suffering. By seeking suffering and, of course, finding it, we start to distract ourselves. We make sure that happiness is not something that is going to stay with us forever, because sooner or later, something is going to happen that is going to take it away from us. Almost as if we are building up a muscle to accept and letting go of something that we have absolutely no control of. However, we have a choice on how to experience this human experience of pain, of suffering. So why do we experience suffering? By either getting attached to it, creating a pattern through which we constantly reiterate the same experience of sufferance, or by rejecting it, which is paradoxically exactly the same thing as getting attached to it. And although it does seem a paradox, it seems quite natural to observe that when we do everything that we can to get rid of something, when we completely reject an experience, all we are doing is to put it in a place within ourselves where we are unaware and unconscious about it. Rejecting something, it's the best way to keeping it with you forever. And in the same way, the best way to get rid of something is just simply letting go. So the question is, when are you going to be ready to let go of your pain? Pain is a great teacher that stays with you until you're ready to let it go. So the question is, are you ready to let go of your pain? There are very, very, very different ways of experiencing pain, and most of the time, the pain that we feel is another transitory experience. It's something that is just passing by. It's something that we can learn from. But why don't we let go of it? Why we decide to live in a state of pain when we can choose to let go of it? In that state of pain, we are rejecting happiness itself. We are rejecting a state of mind that we could have every single day in our life, which we could start now. Right now, I decide to be happy. It's a style of life. It's a state of mind. Instead, I choose to live a life of pain. Am I training myself? Perhaps I'm really just teaching myself to let go of something that I am too afraid of losing, which is life. And yet, what would happen if we would connect with the deepest place inside ourselves and accept that everything is transitory, everything is simply passing by, and so is us? In that moment, every single emotion that we experience would be perceived as such a gift. We would feel an immense gratitude at every emotions, at every sentiment that we feel towards life itself, which is ourself. There's a beautiful quotation from the Upanishad that says, once you take away perfect from the perfect, all that is remaining is perfect. So once you take away everything, all your illusions of who you think you are, all your identities, all your roles and etiquettes, all your masks, every single constructed I that you needed in order to experience this life as they taught it to you. Once you get rid of all of it, you will get rid of a lot of pain. The more you stay attached to your identity, to your roles, to who you think you are, the more you invite pain to stay a bit longer. And this pain, this guest that seems to never leave, at some point will decide to identify with you. And you will forget, suddenly, that you are here to experience the joy of life and the very joy of letting go of life. As hard as it seems, we are all here to experience the same journey and living this life fully and letting go of it fully with joy and gratitude. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this section of New State of Consciousness, and have a wonderful evening.